guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Cindy, the LD educator, and as you know, I am a special education teacher. Well, I'm super excited today because I'm going to be sharing two things that you can do if you are a teacher who has ended up quitting her job, particularly if you're a special education teacher who has quit the teaching profession. Last week, we talked about 5 different reasons why people think we quit, and those 5 reasons are enough to make anybody leave any job. But once again, teachers know what they're getting into as far as low pay, as far as the things that you have to deal with paperwork and so forth. I tried to make the point that for those who eventually leave the profession, it's because of a buildup of all of those things that generally produces stress, anxiety, and to the point that some of us are even experiencing mental health issues because of it. I also said kudos to those teachers who have left the profession because they felt like it was between them teaching and their life and or their family. Unfortunately, sometimes when we leave, we leave with guilt and shame and all of that good stuff. Anyway, in this video, I hope to share 2 different things that you can do if you are someone who has chosen to leave your teaching job. I am really speaking to that person who really loves education. Like, they knew that they wanted to be a teacher, they went to school to be a teacher, and that's all they think about. And even if they have quit or are thinking about quitting, it's like, oh my God, what else I'm gonna do? I love teaching. So I'm really talking to those people who are really not leaving the teacher profession because of the students or because they don't want to teach, but because of all of the other madness that is happening in our educational system. So I'm going to quickly talk about 2 different things that you can do. So the first one is, I don't know if you guys thought about teaching abroad. I am seeing more and more teachers who are going abroad and who are like having these like amazing experiences. Now, obviously, for some of you who have kind of got families or you feel like you can't leave your life here, it may not be an option. But if you are a younger teacher who's been in the profession for a little while and you don't have a whole bunch of things that's wearing you down or tying you down to here, if you really need a change of pace but you still desire to teach, I say look into some of the teach abroad programs. I have a coworker, in fact, she has retired from the school system where we work together at, and she's now over in Dubai, and she has been hired by a private school to be the coordinator of inclusion. Now that got me excited. Say, why did that get you excited, Cindy? I'm glad you asked. I was really excited because I have been hearing about study abroad teaching for a while now. But mostly for me, it's like been general ed or them wanting like somebody to teach English, which is all good, right? If that's what you want to do, that's really good. But for me, I really love special education. Now, I can't see myself, if I wasn't in special education, I would not be a teacher, okay? So this really made me excited because now I'm realizing that there is a demand outside of the US for special education teachers. So for all of you who are like me, you special education teachers who you need a break from some of the school systems or the public schools or whatever that you're teaching at now, and you're interested in traveling and teaching abroad, please look that up. I am not an expert. I'm hoping that she will jump on a Zoom call with me and answer some of my questions. And if she does, then I definitely will like tell you guys more about how you can find different placements in the field of special education outside of the US. So that is one. Number 2. Now, I don't know if this is your first time watching one of my videos, then you don't know this. But for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that I started my own school. And I promise you, I did not have like big time people backing me. Oprah is not giving me money, but Oprah, please give me money. I need it. Anyway, I kind of feel like I am your average Joe teacher who kind of had this little thought, a dream about starting a school, and who kind of like Pollyannish went and looked into it and then fell into it, not realizing how easy, it's challenging, but easy it was to actually start her own school right where she is. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I did not have tons and tons of money. Now, is my school huge? It isn't. But I am so proud of it. It feeds my desire to work with the population that I've always wanted to work with. I get to teach the way that I want to teach. I have such a stress-free environment for myself, for my teachers, as well as for my students. So I say for you, if you're one of those teachers who know you need a change, but you don't see yourself doing anything else other than teaching, I implore you to please think about starting your own school. And there are so, like, particularly for special education students, man, like, I feel like just like there's a continuum of education for students with learning disabilities, I feel like we should have so many different schooling options because no one size fits all. And when we look at the educational system, no matter how they try to change it, no matter how they try to dress it up, that's exactly what it is. It is this big old box, and they have to educate as many kids as they can within this big old box, and it doesn't really give them a lot of room to go outside of that box. And when you do that, somebody ultimately loses. Now, does our educational system do an awesome job with the vast majority of the students who are receiving education? It does. And I have nothing against public education. I am a product of public education. And although my girls are in private schools now, eventually they will go back to public schools. So I believe in public schools. I just don't believe that or feel it is what everyone needs. And I want to encourage more teachers to get out there. You step in the forefront. You have that leadership ability that you need in order to create this. Listen, I would have never thought of myself as a business person. Honestly, even now when people ask me what I do, I'm like, I'm a teacher. Oh, I'm a special education teacher. And it never dawns on me to say, oh, I am like this business leader, even though that's exactly what I am. But because I never saw myself as that, because you probably don't see yourself as that, you probably don't think you have the skills in order to really lead a company or to be able to establish a real business. And I'm telling you, there's no one more equipped than teachers to really start businesses, and particularly to start a school. Now, once again, am I saying, okay, you can start this school tomorrow with 100 and some kids? No, it could happen, but that's not what I am advocating for. I'm going to talk more at some point about this small school concept that is going around in like home schools and so forth. And I like it. And so, but I think we can do small accredited schools. It can happen. If you are interested, if this video piques your interest just a tiny bit, make sure you head over to our Facebook group entitled Teachers Interested in Starting a School. There we talk about different things. I answer a lot of different questions. Our group is small, but we are growing. And I've already seen people who stepped out and like started their school. And you know, once again, it's not always easy, but you just step out and you put one foot in front of the other. So if you are that teacher who has quit or who is on the fence of quitting, there are alternatives to just giving up on the field of education altogether. That's what I do not want to happen. I believe that you've been called to be a teacher for a reason. And although it may not be fulfilled in what we traditionally know, you still can be that. I am still being that. And I'm so excited because I want to start a movement. Now, I don't know how many of you are going to join me, but I'm telling you right now, I believe that more and more teachers are going to step out and do this. Matter of fact, I just talked to 2 teachers in Gainesville, Georgia, maybe last week. and they are on the cusp of opening their school. They started out like a tutoring organization, and now they are getting ready to start a school. It is happening. It can happen for you, but you have to believe it. And then you have to actually start doing the research, okay? Some of you may have to work a couple of more years to like save up some money. Some of you may be able to step out now and do it. All I'm saying that if this interests you, go ahead on, join our Facebook group, and let's start a new wave of teachers starting schools that meet the needs of students right where they are. All right, that's it. Make sure you stay tuned. Next week, I will do another video with more options for teachers who decide to step away from the field of teaching.